Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Trina Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JIS College of Engineering. Today, I will tell about population growth. And here I have given my mobile number and email ID. If you have any doubt, you can communicate. And the most important part, that is the course page. Here you will get entire study material, assignment, semester questions, and solve problems. So you can access anytime, anywhere. The subject name is Environmental Science, subject code MC301 for odd semester, MC401 for even semester. Streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical, and BME. So from this course, students will be able to understand natural environment and its relationship with human activities. Students can apply fundamental knowledge of science and engineering to assess environmental and health risk. Also, they will be able to understand environmental laws and regulations to develop guidelines and procedures for health and safety issues. They will be able to solve the different problems like pollution related to air, water, noise, and land. So the syllabus, entire syllabus is given here. Today I will cover the population growth. It is under general section. In my last lecture, I already covered the natural resources, forest resource, water resource, mineral resource, water resource, and this resource has the relationship between human activities. Because if population increases, then there will be the exploitation of the resources. So population growth is also very important factor. And at the end of the syllabus, the reference books are given. You can have all the books from the library. So module 1, the population growth. Exponential growth, logistic growth, maximum sustainable yield, demography. So this part today I will cover. And the reference books also given, the textbooks, that is the Gaur Krishna Das Mohapatra. You can get it by the name Environmental Engineering and Elementary Biology, or you can get it by the name Environment and Ecology. Now, population growth. Population growth. In ecology, population is defined as a group of organisms of a particular species which breed among themselves and have the potential to do so and generally occupy a particular space. So population does not mean only about the human. It is all species in our environment. It may be fish, it may be plants, it may be chicken, everything. So population growth thus can be defined as a change in strength of population per unit area at a particular time. So at a particular time and particular space, it is the change of strength of population per unit area at particular time in a specific area. The strength obviously varies from time to time as individuals are born, they die, they migrate from one place to another. The rate of increase of population depends upon the birth rate, death rate, immigration or emigration, and all these factors in one way or the other are related to ecological conditions. So prediction or forecasting about future population is very essential in order to assess the use and demand of resources by growing population and to develop strategies on how to meet this demand. Like say if population increases, the requirement of food will be increased, the requirement of water will be increased. So if we have to, that means we have to do proper planning that how we can reach this demand. For developing strategies, the focus should be on the growing demand of modern life facility to reserve the remaining amount of fossil fuels to its fullest extent, to control rapid deforestation along with the logical assessment of future population growth, and only then a clear picture can be obtained and proper measure can be taken. So you can understand it is so important that forecast of population growth. That means if we come to know that after 5 years, like it is 2020, now if in 2025, what will be the total population, then we can plan properly. Then we can understand that how much power is required, how much that means foods are required. It is a basic requirement, but in modern era, there are lots of other requirements also. This is vital for maintaining the economic growth rate, innovating proper scientific methods, and engineering construction so as to avail alternate energy source without polluting the environment. So if we can forecast and we can do the proper planning, so we can do proper utilization of our resources. And if the population growth excessive, there is a very harmful effect on our environment. So I am telling the effect of excessive use of resource due to population growth. Because if population increases, the resource will be required more. So one of the factors responsible for environment degradation is population growth or population density. In particular, population density plays the most important role in shaping the socio-economic environment. Its effects are felt on the natural environment also, like impact on resources. Due to this increase in the human population, there has been increased pressure on natural resources that we rely on for survival. Natural resources include a variety of substances and energy sources that we take from the environment and use. They can be divided into renewable and non-renewable resources. Already you have learned what is renewable and what is non-renewable resources in the last lecture. Generation of waste. Due to his destructive activities, man has dumped more and more waste in environment. As the man-made waste is not transformed, it causes degradation and the capacity of environment to absorb more waste is reduced. Further, waste leads to air and water pollution. Threat to biodiversity. Due to these destructive activities, man has extracted more and more minerals from the earth. Animals have been hunted and plants have disappeared. There has been loss of biodiversity. These have led to ecological imbalance. Strain on forests. Man has established new housing colonies, national highways, and hydropower projects have been built and forests have been wiped out. These destructive activities have increased and led to ecological imbalance. Industrialization. Underdeveloped countries are following the policy of heavy industrialization, which is causing environmental degradation. The establishment of such industries as fertilizers, iron and steel, chemical and refineries have led to land, air, and water pollution. Land degradation. Intensive farming and excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides have led to overexploitation of land and water resources. These have led to land degradation in the form of soil erosion, waterlogging, and salination. So you can understand how it will affect the resources. The population growth is so important. So to predict, to forecast the population growth, we have two models. The simple but powerful mathematical tools thus developed are either exponential or logistic in function and can throw light on several environmental problems. On the basis of mathematical functions, the population growth rate can be classified as exponential growth and logistic growth. So you have to learn these two models very well. First one is exponential growth and second is logistic growth. So exponential growth. In this case, the rate of change of population is directly proportional to the size of population at the time. That means with the time, the population increasing. So rate is, it will exponential. The population size, say like the time is t, population size is nt, then the population growth rate means dnt by dt. Nt is the size of population, that means number of people, say people, we can take for any other animal. So dn by dt, that is a change with the time, proportional to nt. Okay, nt is the population size, so it is proportional. Now dn by dt is equal to rnt. R is the constant. It is the rate constant. Now if we integrate, so bring the t, that dnt by dt, integrate is equal to integration of rnt, and r, you know, it is the constant. So do the integration and we get ln nt is equal to rt plus z. Z is the constant. Now if you put the limit, then you will find the z. Like when t is equal to 0, that means at the initially the population size we take n0 because time is 0. So you put this one, substitute ln 0 is equal to r into 0. Then z, we get the value of z, that is equal to ln n0. Now put the value of, now put this value of z is equal to ln, yes, this one, ln n0, then the expression will be, that means this expression will be ln t is equal to rt plus ln n0. Then if we simplify, then ultimately we get nt is equal to n0 e to the power rt. So this is very important expression. Nt is equal to n0 into e to the power rt. Now if say the initial population is known and say the time, that means the rate, the growth rate is known, so we can tell the population, what will be the population size after t time. Say after 5 years, what will be the population size, we can predict. So this expression is very important. Now doubling time of population. What is the doubling time of population? Doubling time means the time required for population to become double of its initial number nt under consideration. So that is that it grows exponentially and growth rate remains throughout is called doubling time. Okay, so what will be the doubling time? Like say now the population size is 5 billion for one city. So after how many years or how many months it will become 10 million. So this time is called doubling time and it is expressed as TD. TD is the doubling time, T for time and D is a doubling. So we take our main equation which already we have derived here. We have derived just, yes, here we have derived already. Now, take this equation. Take this equation. This is the main equation for exponential growth rate model. Now put nt is equal to n0 because you know that it will be double of the initial population. So initial population n0, so it will be double, that means 2n0. And this is the n0 and e to the power rt. So instead of t, you write down td. Td is the doubling time. Now just do the simple calculation and ln2, then we get td is equal to ln2 by r. So ln2, the value is 0.693. So you put it and approximately 0.693 is equal to 70. So we are writing the expression TD is equal to 69.3 divided by R if it is in the percentage, and then approximately 69.3 means approximately 70. So that is the final expression. Thus, the length of time required to double a quantity growing at R% is approximately equal to 70 divided by R%. So now if it is told that for, like say it is given the growth rate is say 2%, as for example. Okay, so growth rate is 2%. Now, what will be the doubling time for this situation? So what to do? TD is equal to 70 by 2 is equal to 35 years. So we require 35 years to double the population in that area. So this is the curve of exponential growth rate. So you can see how exponentially it is growing, and the main formula, that is NT is equal to N0 into e to the power RT. So I hope that you have understood very well what is the exponential growth rate model. Next is the logistic growth rate model. Okay, another thing, for exponential growth rate model, you have to learn the half-life of population. One part you have learned, that is the doubling time. Doubling time means the when the population will be double, and now when the population will be half of the initial population. If say there is some pandemic, okay, so there may be epidemic, so there may be or any natural calamities, so people may die, so there may be the possibilities of being half of the population. So now the time required for the population to become half of its present value when it decays exponentially and the decay rate remains constant throughout is called half-life, and it is expressed by T half. The time will be expressed by T half. We put in the main equation you know, that is NT is equal to N0 into e to the power minus RT. We are taking minus R because here the growth rate is negative because it is decreasing. The number of population is decreasing. So put NT is equal to N0 by 2 and N0 will remain same, and instead of T, you have to put T half. So the equation will come similar, that is T half also is equal to 70 by R1. If you practice in home, you try to make how it is coming, how what is the value of ln2 and how it is coming, then you will get the answer. So the both case, for doubling time and the half population, we get TD is equal to 70 by R percentage. Now, if we consider the growth rate to be 2%, then if the population size say 3 billion in 2000, it will become 6 billion by 2035, the 2035 year. And if the growth rate remains stable at 2%, continuously stable, then the doubling time, it is in 140 years. By 2140, the population will become 48 billion. In 20 doubling times, it will be in order of quadrillion or more than 1% per square foot of surface area on the earth. Can you imagine? Is it possible? Such a large figure simply points out the limitation of mathematical formulation of exponential growth. So it is not possible. Logically too, the growth of population must depend on the availability of natural resource. So in this way, unlimited increase of population is not possible because our resources are limited. With finite natural resources, a species cannot support any population beyond a certain limit. There's always exists an upper limit to the number of individuals that an environment can support, and is called the carrying capacity of environment. So environment itself has some resistance, has carrying capacity. The unlimited growth of species is not possible because the resource is limited. If exponential growth is assumed, what seems to be an abundant resource may actually be consumed very quickly, thus making the fossil fuel and minerals extracted from the earth crust to vanish rapidly. Okay, so considering the limitations of exponential growth, ideas and related mathematical formulation, the population projections are mathematically modeled with a logistic or S-shaped sigmoidal growth curve. So to remove because of the limitation of exponential growth, we consider the logistic growth level. So it is another model. So this is the curve of the logistic growth rate level. So initially it is starting exponentially, but then there is after a carrying capacity, K is called the carrying capacity, there is no growth. It will stabilize. So the expression for this graph, that is dN by dt is equal to Rn into 1 minus N by K. And N, you know, the size of population, K is carrying capacity, R is the growth rate. So there is three sections, AB, BC and CD. So AB, in this part, the population size N is much less than environmental carrying capacity, and under these circumstances, dN by dt is equal to Rn. So you can say it is similar to exponential growth rate. Thus, in the region, population grows exponentially, and this is because the population is far below the environmental carrying capacity. Therefore, the environment is slightly suitable for its growth. In the part of BC, in this part, the population increment is relatively rapid as compared to the first part. This phase is called the logarithmic phase. In this region, N is not much less than K and the population growth is steady. So dN by dt is constant. Again, give a look to the graph, then you will be more clear. So in this part BC, what you can see, so population growth is very rapid and dN by dt is equal to constant, and it is near to the K carrying capacity. So AB, it is like the exponential growth rate, and this is the BC, it is growth rate is very high, and here it is near to the population is near to carrying capacity. The last part is CD. In this part, the population growth decreases, becomes smaller and smaller. When population size becomes equivalent to the environment carrying capacity, N is equal to K, then there is no growth. That means dN by dt will be equal to 0. The growth rate of population R becomes 0. Population at point is called population at saturation value. So we can say it is at the saturation value. An ecosystem has limited resources. Therefore, the population grows beyond the carrying capacity of the ecosystem. The resource limits shows an adverse effect on population by increasing growth rates on reducing birth rates. Such resistance as offered by the environment is called environmental resistance. And the expression of environmental resistance, that is 1 minus N by K. So thus, if N becomes greater than K, 1 minus N by K becomes negative. The factor 1 minus N by K is responsible for changing the exponential growth curve into logistic growth curve. Logistic growth rate constant R, we know dn by dt is equal to Rn into 1 minus n by k, where R is the logistic growth rate constant, n is population size, k is environmental carrying capacity. So now if we compare these two, so generally there may be the question either describe that logistic growth model and exponential growth model, in exponential growth model and logistic growth model. So here or either or another question it may come like distinguish between logistic growth model and exponential growth model. So you will give this figure both case and you give the expression like dn by dt is equal to R max by into n, and here the R max into k minus n by k into n, and you can say the per capita growth rate R does not change even if pop gets very large. A per capita growth rate gets smaller as it approaches its maximum sizes. So for exponential growth rate, it is not realistic because the unlimited growth is not possible because the environment has its own resistance. So logistic growth, that is, there is a limitation. When the population size reaches to the carrying capacity, the growth rate will, there will be no growth. It will be stabilized. So next is maximum sustainable yield. So it can be defined as maximum rate at which individuals of ecosystem can be harvested without reducing the population size. Like say from the ecosystem, from say one pond, if we remove one fish, then also the population size, that means number of fish, will remain same. That is such a maximum rate. This rate is called maximum sustainable yield, and it corresponds to the population size which is half of carrying capacity. K is equal to 2. So how to derive this? We know that for the maximum growth rate, dn by dt max is equal to 0. So if we put that dn by dt is equal to 0, we get the final expression, and that is dn by dt max is equal to R0 k square divided by 4 into k minus n0. That is the maximum sustainable yield. So if it is asked, define maximum sustainable yield with the expression, so you have to give this one. So this one is very important. So now if I summarize what you have learned today. So first you have learned that what is population growth, how it is related with the utilization of resource, and what are the impacts of huge population on the resource, and how we can that means what is the importance of forecasting population. It is very important to plan to utilization of the different resource like power, food, etc. And there are two models, most important, there are two models for the forecasting. One is exponential growth model, another is logistic growth model. So you have learned to the graphs for these two models, the expression, and also you have learned to solve the problems. And at last you have also learned what is maximum sustainable yield. So thank you. And so today I am ending my session.